Sometimes you reach a strange place in life, a place where the things you once thought you wanted no longer seem to matter. You buy a decent car that gets you where you need to go, find a comfortable place to live, and settle into life where your basic needs are met. At first, it feels good, relieving even. But then, this odd sense of desirelessness creeps in. You stop wanting all the big things you used to dream about, and it leaves you wondering, what now? It's a strange realization. The sports cars, the big mansions, or the designer clothes, the things we thought would bring happiness don't actually feel all that important anymore. Often they turn out to be more of a headache than they're worth. The car needs constant maintenance. The big house requires endless care. The fleeting joy these things bring doesn't justify the stress. And deep down, you realize they weren't even for you in the first place. They were for others, to impress, to fit in, or to prove something. Take the example of wanting a luxury car. Maybe at some point, you convince yourself that you want it. It looks sleek, it's fast, and it's expensive. It's everything success is supposed to look like. But if you're honest, the thought of owning it isn't just about the car itself. It's about what it represents. Maybe you think it will impress people around you, or maybe you imagine driving it to win the admiration of someone specific, like impressing a woman who values luxury. But here's the thing, when you stop and question it, you might realize something profound. Do you actually care about this car? Or is it just conditioning, marketing, and societal pressure convincing you that this is what success looks like? Do you really want to win the approval of someone who cares about cars and flashy displays? And more importantly, do you even want to surround yourself with people who value things like this? This moment of questioning is transformative. You start to see the deeper issue. The desire wasn't really yours. It came from outside influences, from people and messages telling you what you want. And once you recognize that, the desire begins to fade. You stop chasing things just to gain approval from people who value the surface level. You start to think, why am I trying to impress people whose value don't align with mine? And from there, your focus begins to shift. You realize that the kind of people you want in your life aren't the ones who are impressed by the car you drive or the watch you wear. They are not the ones who care about who you are, your character, your kindness, your passions. And the more you embrace this shift, the more the old desires seem irrelevant. The luxury car becomes just another object. What's left after this shift is both liberating and strange. On one hand, you're free from the endless chase for things that don't matter. On the other, you find yourself in a space of desirelessness. Without those external goals driving you, there's a void. But this void isn't emptiness, it's freedom. It's a chance to rebuild your life based on your own values, not on what society tells you to want. In this space, new priorities emerge. You begin to focus on things that bring real fulfillment, personal growth, meaningful relationships, and inner peace become more important than impressing others. Instead of seeking approval from people who value wealth and status, you seek connection with those who value authenticity and depth. And this doesn't mean you stop dreaming or striving. It just means your dreams come from a different place, a place that's truly yours. You're no longer chasing symbols of success to feel an insecurity or gain someone's approval. You're living in alignment with what genuinely makes you happy. So to wrap this up, sometimes we chase things like luxury cars, big houses, or designer brands thinking they'll make us happy or help us win approval from others. But when you stop to question those desires, you might realize they aren't even yours. They're just distractions. And when you let them go, you make room for something far more fulfilling, living authentically, building relationships with people who align with your values, and finding happiness that doesn't rely on impressing anyone.